Hello everyone, good morning. It's been a while, I have not made a video. I was a little busy with family. There was some stuff that was going on, and well, now I'm free, and today I got back to working properly. Uh, did not trade yesterday because there was not a lot of news events yesterday. If you've been watching the previous videos that we've been posting on the YouTube channel, you would know that I'm generally looking to trade around the news events, not at the time of the news release, of course, because the spread opens up and you don't really know where the price is going to go. But I generally focus around the times when um the news is about to be released and a little bit of time after that. So today, because I'd gone through the economic calendar and I knew that pound news is going to come out at 11 my time, that was unemployment rate, employment change, labor productivity, claimant count, average earnings, and all of that stuff. Uh, and I was just looking at the charts and trying to find a trade on pound, trying to figure out what could be the direction on pounds. And on Sunday, basically, I went through the higher time frames, weekly, daily, and stuff like that. We'll start doing that this week onwards again because I've been busy a couple weeks, so I could not do that. But I'm getting back to work now, so I'm going to be doing that for uh, starting this weekend, the coming weekend, and all. Anyway, so 11 a.m. my time, we had pound news. That is this candle right here. Let me just get rid of the brushes, and you should be able to see what exactly I'm talking about. This candle. Uh, let's get the brush. Where is the brush? Brush. Oh, I've forgotten where the brush is. Shows how much we have to be. Oh, there it is, right in front of me. Okay, so this candle that wicked down and then pushed higher up into this area. It's this candle where the uh, news was released for pound. Okay. Uh, Looking at a higher time frame, I had in the back of my head, as you see, that this line that you see was drawn on Sunday. It wasn't drawn today, and this line, this line, this line, all of this was drawn on Sunday. Uh, so of course it looks like on 240 recent is an uptrend, but then what of the seller that sold and went all the way down to there, and then since then you do not have a lower low, right? If you take a look at 240, it's the same seller, this seller, and then went all the way down to there, although at the moment it's still inside a range. But if you read the story coming from the left side, this is a daily seller. Basically, if I go to the daily, you'd be able to see that um, this is a seller that sold from up in here. But the thing that bothers me about this trade, and the reason why I got out with majority of my positions down here, is because if you take a look at the daily time frame, this was the last sell that happened and that went all the way down to there, and then this buyer has basically taken it out, right? That is why there's a line here. I do expect the price to come all the way down to here, if it is a sell, if not lower. But if you still take a look at the daily, this is one buy that happened yesterday, right? One buy that happened yesterday during started during London and then continued until New York, and then come New York yesterday, the sellers started to take over. Okay. Now, again, coming from a higher time frame perspective, weekly is a seller, daily is a buyer. 240 has probably turned into a seller in here, and then this test up in here is for this seller, right? That came all the way down to here. If you take a look at the structure, the buy started here with all of this downtrend. Let's just get rid of the brushes. I'm going to make this quick. I'm not going to take a lot of time on this because it's coming back up like anything, and the reason why is because dollar is also weak at the moment. If you go through dollars in your own time, you'd be able to figure out that 60 minutes to 40 minutes daily are still sellers on dollar. So buyers on most of the charts, like Aussie dollar is a buy, Euro dollar is a buy, Kiwi dollar is a buy, pound dollar too. At the moment, 240 is a buyer. This buy that happened here yesterday went all the way up to there. So it is still a buyer's territory, but the momentum looks like it is shifting. And the reason why is because of the pound news at the moment. Dollar is still weak. There's dollar PPI today, and then there's dollar CPI tomorrow. So dollar could pick up pace. Again, I'm not saying that dollar is going to pick up pace. It all depends on what the news comes out as. But we can expect, because I've made quite a bit of money on this trade and there's still some of the position running, I'm not gonna close that position. Stop loss is at break even, so if it comes get my break even, it does do that, it's okay, right? So for the sake of hope, I'm gonna hope that today with PPI and tomorrow with CPI, uh, dollars gonna pick up pace, right? But you can never be sure. uh, Powell is also speaking today, that could also move the markets. So I'm gonna leave what's running to run. I'm not going to take it out. If it takes me out at break even, takes me out at break even, right? So far, looks like that it's just chopping up, uh, but it's just putting in higher highs and higher lows. So that could be dangerous. It's not coming up with a lot of speed, but it's all higher highs and higher lows. So this could be dangerous. Okay. Quickly going to go through why the trade was taken, where it was taken. So as the news came out, and you can go through the rest of the pounds in your own time, because I want to keep this video shorter. So as the news came out, the price pushed down initially and then pushed up back higher. For this time frame, this is a higher high. But if you take a look at all of this picture, it's this seller that came back during New York yesterday, and then we weren't able to go higher, right? Came all the way up into here, started to range during Asia, range. All of this is a range, and then as the news comes out, tries to go through the range. Let me just get rid of all of these brushes one more time. I'm sorry, because it's on a lower time frame lining up with a higher time frame, so it might get a little confusing for you guys, but let me just try and explain it to you. Okay, so this range during Asia, the news comes out at Frankfurt Open, and then uh, it goes all the way back up, tries to go through this range, cannot go through this range. If you go to a lower time frame, you'd be able to see that if you compare the buyers and sellers, right? Let's just do that. Let's compare buyers and sellers. As the sell comes in, goes all the way down to there, then buys, goes all the way up to there, then pulls back and buys, goes up there, and then pulls back, puts in a higher low, goes for a higher high, seller comes back, you have a lower low now. Okay, so if the uptrend is going to continue, it's this buyer that went all the way up to there, then it pulled back, then it's this buyer that went all the way up to there, then the seller comes back. This buyer could not hold because it made a higher high. Let's just get rid of the brushes again. Okay, quickly. Now, because it made a higher high, if the uptrend was to continue, this buyer had to hold and take the prices higher. That did not happen. What happened instead? The seller came in, went through this buyer, went all the way down to there, and then this area becomes important. Because why? Because this is where the last time someone tried to buy and got wrong footed. The buys have failed, right? The continuation of an uptrend has failed. As the price came all the way back to here, I'm still not taking my entries here. Notice, I'm not position trading. I want to see this buyer come back again. It does come back all the way down there. And then somewhere in here, if you go down to 15 seconds, you'd be able to see, if I show you this area, yeah, this area, this is where the trade was taken. Okay. Now, if you can see, and if I can get rid of all of these brushes, this was caps lock, this is shift. Okay, one more time. Okay, keep the picture from the higher time frame in your mind, and as the buyer comes back to test it, as I said, I want to see this seller come back one more time. It does come back, goes for a lower low, price tests, cannot go any higher from this. Basically a lower low on this time frame, shoots higher, uh, right exactly at London Open, and traded it exactly at London Open. Took out 50% of my profits in here. This is where I took out 50% of my profits. It's about 6R, 7R, and then sat through this a little bit of a mess that started to happen during London Open, and about 15 to 30 minutes after that, and then it just shot down. It just shot down. This line has been here since Sunday, and I took about 80% of what was left running out of after I took 50% here. I took about 80% of what was left running here. The reason why is because if you take a look at 240, this is still a buyer. Although the news started to show that pound is going to get weaker, even on other pounds like pound yen, you can see that's an uptrend, but the sell is coming down. Euro pound, you can see that it showed you that it's going to go in a downtrend, but then the buyer took over. Uh, Pound Aussie, coming from weekly, this has a lot of room to travel to the south side. This has so much room to travel to the south side. This is a trade that I tried taking um, uh, on the pound interest rate on Thursday, previous Thursday. I did make a little bit of money off of it, but just came back. But this has so much room to travel to the south side, and Aussie and Kiwi look like they are pretty strong at the moment. But we'll see what market shows us in the coming days. So this video was basically about pound dollar trade, and I'm not saying that it's going to continue to go down. It could, and it could not. At this point in time, it looks like that the downtrend has begun, and again, it looks like that it's rolling over to continue to go south, right? If you just take a look at the price action and forget about anything else, forget about if the dollar is weak, just take a look at the price action. The seller sold after London Open, after the news and everything, paused a little bit here, pulled back, and then made a lower low, right? So according to my understanding, I will want to see the prices go higher than this. The prices did go higher than this. They chopped around a little, and now the seller is taking over. So a test into this area, um, see, it's just trying to go down now. A test into this area could take the prices lower all the way down to there at least again. You could enter here, stop loss up there. I am not gonna. It's because I'm trying to be as disciplined as possible. I've made quite a bit of money with the trade that I took. This is a massive trade in the context of the time frames, and that is the reason why I'm not going to trade this again. Some of the position is still running. It's going to continue to run. And another reason why I'm not looking to add size into it is because I've been off work for about 2.5 weeks, and I just don't want to, be that impatient that jump in on anything and everything. Anyways, cheers, guys. Stay tuned for more.